Hey everybody, today we are taking a look at Nightfall Eastern Skies, the 7th product in the Nightfall line, so the 6th expansion if you would, which is the way I will be treating the game here, mostly as basically an expansion to the first game, though in this case, this is a standalone game. This game, Eastern Skies, you can play with just by itself, basically. I will not be teaching you how to play, however, because for that, you should just go check out Nightfall. I'm going to put a link here on the screen for you, and just go check that out if you want to get an idea, at least, of how the game works. Here, I'm just going to be showing you some of the new things the game introduces. And if you haven't seen any of the other videos of the other expansions, well, go check those out, and that'll give you a better idea of the evolution of the whole game, the whole system, okay? So here we go. Let's take a look at it, and then I'll come back and tell you my thoughts of this one. Go! Eastern Skies is a standalone set, and it includes brand new starting minions, which you can see right here. And again, you can combine these minions, if you so choose, with the previous minions that were available both in the original set and then the ones they introduced later on in the Coldest War. So you can, again, pick the white ones from this set, and then the red ones from the original set, and the purple ones from this. So you can do this however you want to now. Lots of flexibility there now. But it's very cool that now you have your games right from the start can really be so different. Or you can just get this set on its own and you have these starting cards. So there's that. The next thing it introduces a new wound ability, which is when you're claiming, which is buying basically, you can discard this card to gain 3 influence. That does not count towards your 1 wound effect per turn limit. Very cool, super powerful. Really lets you buy some of those more expensive cards, and several of them. I like that a lot. One more thing that the deck has, that the game here has, is these ghouls, which again, some cards are going to bring ghouls into play. And they'll say things like summon 2, which means, for example, I'll show you a quick one here. This is actually not from this set, but this is summon 2 there, which means you would take 2 of these cards from a shuffled up deck face down and take 2 and put them in front of you. And the other set that had these, which look like that, I actually like this artwork better than that, but it's the same idea, and so they give them to you here again in case you only have this set. Pretty cool. They are pretty weak characters. They have 1 power sometimes 1 health. Sometimes they have 2 health, still 1 power. Sometimes they have 2 power, 1 health, etc. Besides that, we have obviously several new cards. And so let me show you some of them. So you can see right there, City of Lights. And you'll see a brand new keyword ability there, Link. In this case, Link, draw 1 card, Chain, draw 1 card. Very simple. What Link means is that it's a power that triggers as soon as you link it to the chain, not when it comes off the chain. In this case, it'll do both. As soon as you play it on the table, you'll get that draw 1 card, and then when you resolve the card, you get another one. Here we have Night Trapper. And as you can see here, Link vampires cannot be added to the chain, a really powerful ability. Because as soon as you play this, especially if you're early on in the turn, so if you say it's your turn, you can shut down some people with this. So pretty cool stuff. This one here, we have Link, any player in clockwise order may receive 2 wounds to discard this card from the chain and so basically not allow it to come into play. An interesting bargaining sort of card. Pretty cool if you're playing with a group of 4 or so. You know, it's neat. And this one here, Link, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. You may exile 1 card, discard to replace the rest in any order. Fine. And this one, Link, before resolving the chain, target an order. Do not resolve that order's chain text. So, you're canceling the writing on another card, the chain anyway, on another card. Pretty cool stuff. So first things first, new starters. I love new starters. We got them in the original, obviously, and we got them in Coldest War. And I just love not just being able to play with these, but combining them with the old ones. So you can have players starting with different setups, right? That's really cool. So right from the beginning, I could have a different mix of cards than my opponents. So big thumbs up for that. I like those quite a bit. This one continues the summoned ghouls thing that the previous expansion introduced, and that one was Dark Rages. No, that was Crimson Siege, I'm sorry. And this one also has its own deck of ghouls. So, very cool for that. The next thing I like in it is that it has a new wound type, and it's one of my favorite wound types, wound abilities. I would always, throw them in. In fact, I have some of the originals and a little bit from every other deck, ultimately. But I really like this one. This ability is really cool. The cards themselves are interesting. I think it's a solid set. It's a strong set. There is the new ability is that Link ability. Is smart. It's interesting. Makes sense. It adds a little bit to a problem that the game have been slowly developing with rules clarity and sort of, a little clunkiness, and that Link ability doesn't necessarily alleviate that and does tend to lead to some, FAQ questions, but I like it. I think it's neat. And it does add something new yet simple, which is a hard thing to find, right? So overall, I like this one. It's weird that thinking about all the sets, I tend to prefer the stuff that came in the full sets versus the smaller groups, right? The Blood Country and the Dark Rages and the Crimson Siege. Those are the sets that came out that didn't have everything in them, so you needed one of the other sets to play. And so I'm not sure why, but I tend to prefer the stuff that came in Nightfall and in Martial Law and in the Coldest War, my favorite, and in this one, Eastern Skies. This is an upswing, I thought, from the last two expansions, which were good and interesting and gave you more of the same, but ultimately gave you more of the same, really. This one breaks that a little bit with some new stuff, some new flavor, and I like that a lot. So, a good set, a good expansion. I like it quite a bit, and I think it's an interesting evolution to the whole system. The system overall has, I think, it's kept true to its nature. It's still very confrontational. It's still very violent, very in your face, but has also fallen victim to repetition and has fallen victim to a system that has stagnated a little bit, which is fine. Ultimately, you don't need everything. If you like one specific set and not another one, then just get that one. And hopefully this gives you an idea, both this video and all the ones I've done up to now, of which ones you do like. So, if you haven't seen any of those, go check those out, and hopefully this gave you a good idea if this is, if this is a game for you or if any of the expansions are something you should check out, all right? So, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you next time. Later.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.